Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really sorry I can't be with you in person today for the Rebuilding Lives conference organised by the Spinal Injuries Association. I was greatly looking forward to joining you all, hearing your stories and seeing the strength and determination that there is in this community. And although I can't be physically present, I wanted to address you because the issues we're here to discuss are just too important to postpone. So as chair of the all-party parliamentary group on spinal cord injury, I have had the privilege of overseeing our recent inquiry into spinal cord injury across the United Kingdom. Over several months, we've held oral hearings, received evidence, spoken to people with lived experience, to carers and to families, to clinicians, service providers and researchers. The draft report, which many of you will be familiar with already, has revealed a number of key findings. Today I want to share some of them with you to affirm our shared understanding of what needs to change and how the APPG and parliamentarians will take this work forward with government. So let's consider some of those key findings. First, inequality of outcomes remains stark. People with spinal cord injury face very different trajectories depending on where they live in the UK. Access to specialist care, rehabilitation, assistive technology, and long-term support varies widely. Some areas provide excellent services. In others, people struggle to get basic support after hospital discharge. Second, we found that rehabilitation and long-term care are under-resourced and fragmented. The transition from acute hospital care into rehabilitation and then into community living is too often marked by gaps. Waiting times are long, funding inconsistencies and lack of integrated pathways undermine recovery and independence. Third, the voices of people with lived experience are too often sidelined in planning, commissioning and delivery of services. The inquiry heard repeatedly that services must be co-designed with people who have spinal cord injury. Their insights are indispensable to ensure relevance, dignity and effectiveness. Fourth, there is a need for there's a critical need for a national spinal cord injury strategy. The current absence of such a strategy means that no one body is held to account for ensuring consistency, equity, quality and innovation across acute care, rehabilitation, lifelong support and research. Fifth, the report highlights the financial, psychological and social burden carried by individuals, families and carers, whether it's with the costs of adaptive equipment, the challenges of accessible housing or enduring mental health struggles. The personal toll is considerable and too often avoidable with the right infrastructure and support in place. So how will the APPG and parliamentarians take this forward? On the basis of the findings, we are calling on the government to adopt a national spinal cord injury strategy without any further delay. Such a strategy must set out clear national standards for acute care, rehabilitation, assistive devices, accessible housing, mental health support, independent living, employment and research investment. It must define how accountability will work, how funding will be secured, how outcomes will be monitored, and how people with lived experience will be central in all stages. As APPG chair, I will be working with colleagues across all parties to ensure that Parliament holds the government to account for progress. We are committed to lobbying ministers and relevant departments to commit to publishing a strategy with an implementation plan and budget. We're committed to pressing for mandatory national outcome measures so that we can see where things are working and where they are not. We're committed to supporting local health authorities, integrated care systems, and devolved administrations to learn from best practice and to reduce regional inequalities. And we're committed to ensuring that continued research into spinal cord injury is properly funded, including into novel treatments, regenerative medicine, and technologies to improve the quality of life. I also want to stress that this is not just about policy, but about people. It is about dignity. It is about enabling lives to be rebuilt. The strategy must listen to and amplify the voices of those who live with spinal cord injury and their families every day. And I'm pleased to confirm that the final report of our inquiry will be officially launched in Parliament on the 27th of October. At that event, we will set out in full our recommendations, evidence, and an urgent call to action. I very much hope that many of you will be able to join us, whether in person or remotely, so that together we can ensure that this work leads to real change. In closing, I really want to thank the Spinal Injuries Association for organising this conference and for all the work that you do, to the many individuals, carers, clinicians, researchers who all contributed to our inquiry, and most importantly, to people with spinal cord injury who shared their stories, their hopes, their frustrations. It is on your shoulders that any such strategy must be built. So, though I may not be in the room today, I stand with you in purpose and in hope. Let today be a turning point for action, and let us commit now to a national spinal cord injury strategy that rebuilds lives, restores dignity, and ensures that no one is left behind. Thank you for listening to me.
Hi, I'm John Glen, the Member of Parliament for Salisbury, and a few miles up the road at Salisbury District Hospital we have a spinal unit, one of the 8 across the country. I'm really sorry, but I won't be able to come to the conference Rebuilding Lives, which is a shame, but I wanted to express my commitment to working with colleagues across the House to raise awareness of the need to improve the consistency of care across the NHS, to raise awareness of the needs of those who have a spinal cord injury. Recently, I met a constituent who had an accident and has a spinal cord injury. I was so impressed with her resilience and determination to get on with her life. But we can't take for granted the challenges that generally exist across the country. And I am going to commit to continue to work with colleagues to do my bit to ensure that the quality of the care is as good as it possibly can be for everyone.
Hello, my name's Helen Morgan. I'm the MP for North Shropshire and the Liberal Democrat spokesperson for health and care. North Shropshire is home to the Robert Jones and Agnes Hunt Orthopaedic Hospital, which hosts the Midland Spinal Injury Centre, and that's why I've been proud to be a chair of the Spinal Cord Injury All-Party Group. Now, we know that when people suffer a spinal injury, they and their family are left navigating a system which can be complex and unresponsive, and they end up not getting the support they need. A roadmap and a strategy to enable people to get the health care, the community support, the mental health support, the housing and the rehabilitation that they need is really, really important. I'm really pleased to see the Rebuilding Lives Conference is calling for that, a strategy and a roadmap to ensure that people get the care that they need so that they can thrive in the future and not just survive. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura Kyrke-Smith. I'm the Member of Parliament for Aylesbury. I'm here at Stoke Mandeville Stadium in Aylesbury. I'm so proud of this particular part of Aylesbury's history and legacy, the host to the first Paralympic Games, as many of you will know, and through the Spinal Injuries Unit, here, and actually through so much of the work of the charities here at the stadium, we continue to play a really important role in spinal injury recovery and rehabilitation. I'm sorry that I can't be with you at your Rebuilding Lives conference. I'm so pleased that it's happening, and the work that the all-party parliamentary group has been doing, and that many of you have been part of on a national strategy for spinal cord injury is so vital. I'm struck when I talk to people by how often they will receive excellent and life-saving healthcare support from the NHS, but then will go on to feel abandoned, to feel neglected and forgotten about, and everything becomes a battle in terms of getting the support and the provision that people need. And of course, it's not just about the NHS, it's about so many parts of government working together, whether that's skills provision or whether that's housing. It's why we do need a national strategy, and for us in government, a cross-departmental strategy. So I wish you all well with your discussions on that today, and just want you to know that myself and others in Parliament are really committed to taking forward this agenda and to continuing to transform the support that people with a spinal cord injury receive, not just in the aftermath but through the rest of their lives. So thank you, and I wish you all well today.